Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. So, today no bacon and eggs. Um, I decided on having some oatmeal, not the old-fashioned way, where you just put the oats and brown sugar. I just bought these packages. I usually put two. This one here I did cinnamon spice and cinnamon spice. I'll do the apple. An apple. I usually do two at a time. And I put warm, hot milk, so I don't do canned milk all the time. And toast with peanut butter and my coffee with canned milk in it. So today I wrote down a little bit. It was a Nexus 5. That was the name of the phone. I couldn't read. I was almost there. I said 5 in, but Nexus 5 was that LG phone. As soon as I stopped taping, guess what? I remembered. But anyways, today, talk a little bit. We'll talk about vehicles, I think, like the cars and stuff, driving. You're going to interrupt my sing, aren't you?
I didn't know you were on.
I told you, yeah, you've heard me singing.
Oh, thanks.
No, you're not having any.
Let's take one of these.
No, you interrupt me and I'm not, no, I can't talk.
No, I think so.
Uh?
I'm going to go back there and I want to grab some.
So I'm going to talk about cars today. When we had that old van.
Oh my, flop back there?
Oh yeah, it was jimmied up. We called it jimmied up because after Jim left, he was my mechanic, right? So after he left, I had, what, 5 cars in 6 years?
What time is it?
I don't know. Anyway, can I tell my story?
Yeah, sir. I want to listen to this. I'll listen in the room.
Yeah, well, good. Go. What are you doing first thing in the morning? Good job you don't work today.
Breakfast.
Yeah. Anyway, so we had like 5 cars in 6 years. What I would do is buy a vehicle and get it, because down home we got it, in New Brunswick we got to get it inspected every year. So I'd buy a vehicle, whatever, 6-7 months left on it, and it was cheap, and then after when the inspection I knew it wasn't going to pass, I just go trade it in, get $100 and then go get another one. So I done that with Jim. At least when I was with him, he was my mechanic, right? So anyways, so when he left, the trailer was paid for and we ended up purchasing a brand new car. So we didn't even trade. I kept the trailer. All I had to do was pay lot rent and the property tax every year on the trailer. And he had the Grand Dam, and he had to pay the car payment and the insurance. He left me with the van. Oh no, that was the green van. That's right too. That was another van. Okay, that's the one. Okay. So I was without a vehicle, so we were taking a bus and taxis for a while. And when I took that course, that's simply accounting, and I bought a computer for that course. It was a brand new computer, brand new, and I got it at Future Shop, and it had this thing in it, and it said, and I'm still saving up for a car, right, because it costs a lot of money, cabs and you know, in the bus. And anyway, so I went and won. Well, what happened was I got the computer, and I usually don't enter contests because they just want your email so that they can spam you. You don't win nothing. But something just told me because one first prize was first prize was a laptop computer. The kids had theirs and I had mine. But I should be nice because at that time there were no wireless and you had to hook up each computer to the Ethernet. And I said this would be great because they could, in the back room, instead of running a cable all the way, it's cordless or wireless, so they could use it in the back room, way back of the trailer. So that would be great. And then the second one was a big screen TV. Well, we only had that television with the built-in DVD player at the time. So, there were a few that I was looking at. I said, I wouldn't mind winning one of them, you know. So I put my name down and I sent it in. So I come home from work and there's a thing to pick up something at the post office. So I figured maybe it was something to do with they forgot to give me something for the computer because it said Dell. Well, I knew it was something to do with that. So I went down there by bus, and it wasn't too far. After work and everything, I didn't feel like walking it, but anyway, I took the bus. I got there, and they give me the laptop, and I'm like, I'm looking at them. I said, what's this? They said, you won it or something or whatever, because they knew it was free, or so I wasn't going to argue. And we're still saving up for a car. Now, I get cab back. I was going to wait an hour for the next bus to come, so I got a taxi back. Well, the kids only used it. They hardly used it. So I said to them, I can go on, I think we had Kijiji at the time, it was internet. I said, I can sell this laptop if you guys aren't going to use it, or even trade for a vehicle, because it was valued at, because it was brand new down and all that, and it was valued, I think, $1,200 at the time. It wasn't worth it, but that's the value. And the kids hardly used it. It was just sitting there. So I looked for the cars section, see what was around $1,200. And the Caravan, Dodge Caravan. And so I called up Buddy. I said, are you interested in doing a trade? I said, I have a brand new Dell laptop, only a few months old, hardly used, and it's the same value as your van. Well, it so happened that he lost his job, moved back in with his parents, lived quite a far ways out, and he had to go into town because he didn't have a computer, and he had to drive into town, which he didn't have gas money because he's not working, had a hard time, drive into town to go to the library to check every day to check for jobs. And he said, because he wouldn't have to drive, he could get rid of his van that he was driving, and he could stay at his parents' and every hour be on the internet looking for a job, right? So we traded it, but I said, how long is the inspection left? It was left for almost a year. Because I knew this van would last for very long, you know. So, get the van, and we drove the crap out of that van. Went everywhere. Then it started breaking down, of course. Kids were up on the side doors. Open it and it would drop. So I had to budgie cord it. Keep it closed. Then my door, the little thing broke on it, the little lever. And had to push it and close it, and then it wouldn't work anymore. So I budgie cord that one. Everybody had to come in from in and out of the van, the front of it, passenger side. Then, I don't know what happened to the glove department thing. That kept on falling, so I budgie cord that, or duct tape it. Anyways, so we got rid of that man. Coming back from work, I was on the bus, in between cars again. And I seen at a car dealership, this car sticking out, ugly looking thing. It was the Volvo. The Volvo. And so I called them up when I got home. I said, is that car out there for sale in the front? The Volvo? And I'm talking about the old-fashioned Volvo that looks like a... But everything was original. I mean, that car was worth some money. The only thing bad was the tires on it, but we'll explain that after. And this is, what month? It was in summertime. Just April, May. It was May. So I said, is that car for sale? And they said, yeah. And I said, how much do you want? I think it was like only $500. I said, how long is the inspection for? And they put a year on it because they're a dealership. They can do it. They put a inspection sticker on it. Where you going?
Sisters.
Are they out?
Yeah, she just called me.
Oh, anyway, can I remember that old Volvo?
Did you drink all the fucking canned milk?
Will you stop? Come on, you're interrupting me. And
I had
if
3
you're,
cans of canned
when
milk
you're
in there.
doing your thing, I don't interrupt you once.
But I had 3 cans of canned
You
milk
came
in there.
out, and I don't only drink canned milk. See what I got in my oatmeal?
You know I didn't have money to buy canned milk today.
Are you going to listen to me?
What?
Remember the old Volvo?
Yeah,
You
that
guys
thing was
said
awesome.
it was the ugliest car, but
You know
until
what?
their friend said it was all
It
original.
was so vintage, and now that I'm older, I'm like, yeah, man, that thing would have been dope. Everybody would like turn their heads. I stole it one time when Mom was gone.
Oh, you guys, I know that poor
It
old
was just full
Volvo.
of cigarette butts. It was crazy.
Anyway,
Is that the one where I put my finger in the cigarette butt? Or the cigarette ash or the light?
okay, can I tell my story?
Oh, you're live?
No. I'm just here talking to myself.
I actually thought you were.
Are you
Okay,
drinking canned milk? I was fucking...
get out of here.
Put the can up in here. Okay.
So anyway, we purchased the Volvo.
Purchased it. You stole it.
Yeah. And get out so I can tell my story
Love you.
before I slap you.
Spank me. Anyway, love you.
Bye.
You can say back?
Can you lock that door?
Yeah.
I'm not going to spend 2 hours here. You're interrupting me, and I don't interrupt you.
Yeah, you did.
No, I don't. So anyways,
Wait, my hemorrhoids.
so what happened was your sister LaFonda,
What is a hemorrhoid anyway?
oh, I don't know. Look, they need you. They're texting you.
Okay.
So anyway, she was working, going to school, working part-time at night at Tim Hortons, LaFonda.
Oh, I just bought some more.
And I had to go pick her up because the bus didn't run after she was done. I think the last one was 10 o'clock. And she was off. School nights, she was off at, well, had to be off at 10. I think the bus came at 5 too. And it wasn't that far. The trailer park to Tim Hortons. Anyway, she, school nights because she was under the 16 because she started working there when she was 15. And he started working part-time there when he was 14. But they were only allowed 25 hours a week during school. And they could only work until 10 o'clock up until they were 16. There are rules, right? I had to sign that they could work. But he started football and it interfered, so he didn't work there that long. But LaFonda did. So anyway, she ended up supervisor. Youngest one. She wasn't even 19. I think she was 18. She was supervisor. Good worker. So anyways, all my kids are really, but so it's May, and I just got the Volvo. And in New Brunswick, not here in Alberta, you got to take the studs off your tires in the springtime because it tears up the road. And anyway, I know that. And there were studs on it. Well, usually when I go pick her up, I'm sleeping because I gotta work, so she calls me, I wake up, I'm usually in my pajamas and it's summertime, so I just put a robe over me. So, 11:30, I think weekend, it was a weekend, no, because I was working. I don't know why the robe off, but anyways. So, I went, that night, she woke me up, I hurried up and put on a pair of sweats and just a hoodie. Usually I'm in my nightdress, but anyway, going there, they had this big long roadblock. I'm like, oh, he'll just pass me through, you know? Here I'm coming with my tires. I was like, oh my goodness, and I can't turn around nowhere. So, young cop, must have been one of them rookie cops that comes in and does their on-the-job training in small villages in town. You know what I mean? Think of wanting to make a name for himself. Think it was the end of the month and they needed their quota. But anyways, pull over. He was so nasty. He's little shit. You know, I probably a couple years ago was wiping his nose, changing his diaper, you know. So anyways, so I pull over. He said, you got studs on your tires. You got your license and registration? And I said, yeah, I just purchased this car a week ago, which I did. I only had the car for a week. And I said, and I made an appointment to get my, I'm lying, but I said, I got an appointment to change the tires. I said, but I just purchased this vehicle and I'm picking up my daughter. She's waiting for me at work right now. You know, it's a $95 fine for driving with studs. And I said, well, I just purchased the vehicle. He said, well, I said, can I call my daughter? Because she'd be wondering what's going. So I called her and told her I was just almost at Tim Hortons. Like, anyway, so we didn't live far. So I called her up and I said, I'm going to be, walk and you'll see me. And thank goodness I wasn't in my nightie and out there, cars and looking at and lights and you know what I mean? But at least I was. So I said, well, what if I get rid of them? Because he wanted to give me a $95 fine. I said, I don't have the money. So I'm out there at 12 o'clock at night, me and my daughter, and I'm pulling out with needle nose pliers the studs out of my car tires. And he's standing there watching me. So her friend called her and she told her what was going on. So she came down and with better pliers, and we were in. So when we were done, all 4 tires now. This is dangerous, really, because if you would have pinched the tire. But anyway, so we get all the studs off out of it, almost, because some was wore down from someone driving. They were wore down, probably me. I don't know how. Anyways, so I said, "Is that enough now? Can I go home? I'm tired. I got to work tomorrow." I said, "She just got off work." Boys, I was mad at him because I said, I had it when he was talking about, "Did you know you had studs on your tires?" And I looked at him and I said, "No." Right as innocent, eh? I said, "I had a stud and didn't even know it." Well, I'm trying to joke with the guy, but they were no joking with him. So anyway, he let us go. So we have, and I didn't get no other tires. They were good tires, but not in the wintertime. So that winter, I was sliding all over the road. They just made them summer tires. You know what I mean? Sliding and going, and I couldn't afford 4 tires for that. Sliding all over, going up, when I was working in a big hill, and I had to, I had to wait, like, try to find a hill that it wasn't going to be so busy, but it was busy because they went and they were working on one of the bridges, so it made it busier than normal, and because it jammed up the traffic downtown, it jams up the traffic going up the hill too. And there's like 4 hills that you can go up town in Fredericton. So anyways, and I'm going sliding, and I gotta stop, and then I go ahead, and then I go, oh man, I tell you. So we got rid of that car. Oh, he got me, my train of thoughts. What else? What other car did we have? Oh, I purchased this other car after that one. And it was a pretty good deal, but Buddy's wife was from Chipman, so he thought he was doing me a favor by changing the oil for me or whatever. Well, they ended up sending me another laptop. Or no, a brand new computer now. They must have got mixed up. I called them out. I said, "I already got a laptop." Well, it was their mistake. I said, "I'm not paying to ship it back." So I ended up with a brand new, not open, Dell. It was a white one, and it had the keyboard, and it had the mouse, and it had the USB and port, and the monitor, and it had speakers. I mean, now this thing was valued more than a laptop. So we didn't need 3. So I told the kids, I'm going to trade it in for another vehicle. $1,500, I know that it's going to be a good vehicle. So I called up Buddy, this guy. I said, "I got a brand new, I want it, not open." I said, "Dell computer. Would you even trade? Because when you go down to motor vehicle, you can even trade. You know what I mean? And you don't have to pay the thing and whatever." So anyway, he said his daughter was just starting university and needed one. I said, that's great. So I went down there. This is the Grand Am. He did an oil change. No, yeah. I can't remember. I don't think it was, I can't remember what car didn't have it long enough. But what happened? His wife was from Chipman. Knew my father's part of the family. So he did me a favor. He said he was going to do an oil change. And then him and his wife, after, when he was done doing oil change, and make sure he's going to inspect it. You know what I mean? And I think the inspection, I knew that car would, I think the inspection was for a year, but he knew I had 3 kids, and I knew his wife's family and whatever, so he's doing me a favor. He's going to do an oil change and all that. He's not a mechanic, but he's a lot of backyard mechanics down home. 95 of them knows what they're doing, but anyways, he said he'll drive it to me, his wife, and drive her car, and after he was done with it. I didn't give him no money, or I didn't give him the computer yet. I said, yeah, and you can pick up the computer. So I had no way to bring the computer. I wasn't going to take it on. I explained to him, I would go look at the car, and then he can come get it, and he can drive me over. Back home, pick up and then drive back. So anyways, because my luck, I would have dropped it and broke it before, So I said, okay, so he fixed it up. So this was August, because it was for Honda's birthday. We were going to go to St. John to go see Dad and his wife and kids and everything. Before we went, I never drove the car yet. I had to go get a pack of cigarettes because we were going to be on the road, and I didn't want to stop anywhere. I just wanted to go there. Like, I don't like traveling. I traveled it for a whole year, and it's summertime, but still, it's in August, it's hot, and I just want to get going. Went, got my cigarettes, come down the hill, kids are getting ready. Service engine light comes on, so I knew from Jim, he said, if you see any lights, pull over. So I pulled over immediately. Well, when he put the oil filter, I think, because I was talking to a taxi driver after that, and he said his brother-in-law, that happened to him, and they were default around the rubber, putting it in. So it was the manufacturer, it wasn't the guy's fault, unless he didn't use one of them things to tighten it too. I don't know. I should have stayed there and watched him, because I was a gopher for Jim, when every time he worked around cars, go for this, go for that, go get me this, so he wanted to show me everything if I ever broke down or whatever. At least I knew a little bit about a car, right? So anyway, yeah, that's another story too, about how they like to rip off women, thinking I didn't know nothing. Thank God, Jim, for that one. So anyway, I pulled over, and then I got a friend of mine, I think I towed it home. It cost like $95 or something from there to there to get it home. Anyways, the thing fell off, I lost all my oil, and I seized up the engine. That fast. So kids were disappointed because we couldn't go and blah, blah, blah. See, then I bought another car. And I knew what was wrong with it and what needed to be done. And if you couldn't do it one way, then I went and bought another part and had it in the trunk. And like I said, I knew a little bit about vehicles. So I went into the mechanic. This was another car. And when I went into the mechanic, I told him what he had to do. Me and my son tried to do it, but it just needed a wood on and tap it, because it was all rusted, because the car was 15 years old or something, or 12, and it's all rusted. And we put WD-40 or spray WD-40, tried to loosen it up, but it just needs a rubber hammer, I told him, and snap, 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 and get it off. We could only get one one part. The part was only $25 for the part, but I had the extension in the back for 10. Oh, and I mean, it shouldn't cost, it would take them 2 minutes to put it on. And I had the part, I told him. Anyways, oh, it might hit the brake line. What is he talking about? Anyway, because this is the muffler that we're talking about. In a Cadillac converter or whatever. Anyway, and then he said, and if we break the, hit the brake line, you got to get all new brake line. Now that's the most expensive thing on your car is a brake line. It costs them money. It might cost you too. And I'm looking at him. I said, well, if that doesn't work, I got the extension in the back that I got at CarQuest for $10. His face went right. So I said, look, mister, just because I'm a woman don't mean I don't know anything about a vehicle. I said, you trying to rip me off? I said, guess what? I'll never bring any. It was just up the road from me. I was saying, good, I found a mechanic and it's right close, you know. Anyway, I said, I'll never come here again. And I'll make sure I'll tell everyone what you tried to do with me today. And I drove out. Well, I ended up getting a friend to get it off and then brought the extension back and got my $10 back or $12, whatever it was. But I tell you, so we went through a lot of cars. And, oh, with the cell phone yesterday, I forgot to tell you. When I first got the flip phone, everybody had, you couldn't go and buy ringtones and all that at that time. You had to, so everybody had the same friggin' ringtone. I hated it because I'd be out and nobody knew phone was ringing. So I recorded. It's your phone, dummy, pick it up. As a ringtone. And the bank is really packed and it's quiet and I'm standing at the bank in the lineup. All of a sudden, one of the kids called me, right? It's your phone, dummy, pick it up. And I'm looking around like, whose phone is that? Everybody's laughing. Well, I changed that ringtone in a hurry. Anyhow, sorry for the interruption there, bro. He's off today, and last night he went over. My youngest daughter, they're having trouble with her thermostat, and the battery, he changed it, and well, they're going to work on it today, but it's cold, so she stayed over. She could have stayed here, but the kids go to the same school as my daughter's daughter and everything. It would have been weekend. I would have gave them my bed and slept on the sofa, but where it's a school because it's Monday. I got my days all mixed up. Anyway, it's Monday today, and so they stayed there, and I gave her the little heater in case something happens with that, not the power, but that her baseboard heaters or whatever. So, and I showed her how to set it last night when I came home from work. So she stayed there, and then he was over there, and they had a few, the two oldest, had a few to drink, you know. So, I don't know what time he came home because I was just tired. I had to shovel snow again and everything. Didn't snow, but we had to clean up, you know what I mean, the lot and everything. So, so I was pretty tired. So I went home and went to bed. Let them fools in there. And he bought me something. I think it's mine. He hasn't mentioned it. He left it on the table. But I like my setup. I like my phone. I know I got a lot of memory. Why change things? If it works, don't break it. You know? But he bought me this here. I think it's mine. It was on the table. It's a little Elf Smart Home camera. And it says high HD, night vision, motion, two-way audio. I'm pretty sure it's not for him because he got so much. Cloud storage, super card storage, encrypted, multi-platform viewing. Ease your mind, feel safe. I don't know if it's mine. He didn't talk about it. But anyway, I like my little setup. I find it's bright enough and, and I know how to work my camera. But anyways, so this is what he got me, I guess, I think. It was on the table when I came home and I just put it over there, I think he got it for me, but I don't want to go all fancy. Why go all fancy? You don't have to have these big try things and stuff and lights and, why? I'm just sitting here. I could see if you're eating and you want to show you do mukbangs or whatever, but my vlog looks okay, my short little clip, and I find the color in this is good. It looks, and you guys can hear me. If you can't, you got a volume button. I got my volume right up high. So, anyhow. So you guys have a good day. I work today. Today is Monday and then Tuesday, and then I got 3 days off. And tomorrow I'm going to talk. I was going to do it today, but Bro was here, and I really didn't want to get into it, but the good old days with my mom. Like after 19 and over, the stupid stuff that me and her did. Like I said, this was my teenage years, so my fun time, and it was her fun time too, and we did some things, But anyways, so until tomorrow, stay safe, and I'll see you then. Cigarette time! Ugh.